Hi, I'm Noel's dad reading 5-Minute Marvel Stories. A Family Affair. On a quiet night in the galaxy, the Guardians were gathered in the Milano waiting for their next big mission. Just then, the ship's incoming message light began to blink. The Guardians all huddled over the light. "Oh boy," Rocket said. "Nebula has stolen a device from NovaCorps, and they need our help." Gamora was thinking about her adoptive sister, Nebula. She couldn't help but think about their history and the sibling rivalry that started early in their lives. As young girls, Gamora and Nebula had been taken in by the most feared supervillain in the universe, Thanos. Thanos had been a harsh parent to Gamora and Nebula. To inspire competition between the two, he forced them to fight each other over and over again. Gamora ran away from her evil family in search of something better. She joined Star-Lord on his adventures, but she often wished Nebula would have joined them too. The Guardians sprang into action. Gamora guided Rocket and Star-Lord as they flew the Milano, chasing after Nebula. Gamora knew she couldn't let Nebula get away. They flew through the galaxy, following Gamora's lead. They landed on Morag, and Star-Lord was skeptical, but Gamora had a feeling. "If this is where you're hiding," Gamora muttered as they landed, "then I'll find you." She'd caught Nebula stealing in the past, and had learned that she was wired into a whole underground network for black market goods, linked by the subterranean tunnels of Morag. Gamora ran ahead of the rest of the Guardians. She navigated the streets until she spotted an old wooden door with strange markings etched into it. She descended a creaky staircase into the darkness below. Soon, Gamora heard a low voice in the distance. Up ahead, she saw a shaft of light where the tunnel ended, leading into a large room. She slowly crept toward the entrance. "Is someone there?" Nebula's voice rang out. "Why don't you quit skulking in the shadows and reveal yourself?" Busted. Gamora entered the room to find Nebula standing in a corner, holding a strange-looking device. It was round and covered with dials and buttons. Gamora thought it must be some kind of weapon. "Ah, Gamora," Nebula said. "What a very unpleasant surprise." Gamora rolled her eyes. "It's time, sister of mine," she snarled as she lunged at Nebula. But Nebula pressed the button on the device she was holding, and Gamora froze. In horror, Gamora watched her arm lower itself and dropped her sword. Gamora was powerless to respond. Nebula seemed to be controlling her body with the device. "Clever, isn't it?" Nebula said. "They're doing all sorts of wonderful things with technology at NovaCorps these days. Imagine all the trouble I can cause now." Suddenly, Star-Lord burst into the room. "Not so fast. When you mess with Gamora, you mess with all of us." Rocket ran in behind Star-Lord holding a giant cannon. Then Drax came in. He looked over at Gamora and said, "Why is she just standing there?" "I am Groot," a deep voice boomed out. Groot lumbered through the doorway. "No, pal," Rocket said. "I don't think she turned into a tree." "Okay," Star-Lord said to Nebula. "We can do this the easy way or the fun way." Nebula grinned. "Let's have fun, shall we?" Just then, Nebula pressed the button on the device and thrust it in the Guardian's direction. The whole team froze where they were. Nebula turned her back to the Guardians, and because she was distracted, Rocket managed to free his hand. He shot his cannon. destroying the NovaCorp's device. When the device shattered, the Guardians were released from Nebula's hold. The Guardians flexed their limbs as they regained control of their bodies. Gamora picked up her sword and turned to face Nebula, but her sister was already on the move. The Guardians followed Nebula into the tunnels. Gamora was the first to catch up with her sister. "You want us to hang back while you take her?" Star-Lord asked Gamora as the Guardians caught up. Gamora had learned that family didn't just mean being raised together, but being there for each other. Her real family was standing right in front of her, and she needed their help to defeat her adopted sister. She shook her head. "No," she said. "We're a team. Let's do this together." The team nodded at Gamora as they headed toward Nebula. With some help from Drax and the rest of the team, Gamora propelled toward Nebula and knocked her off her feet. The Guardians watched as Gamora handcuffed Nebula. "Now you're the one who can't move, sister," she said smugly. Gamora turned to the Guardians. "You know, we're not just a team. You guys are also my family." "I am Groot," Groot said proudly. Rocket muttered, "You're right. This is one weird, dysfunctional family." Gamora laughed. "I wouldn't have it any other way." The end.